Hello everybody, welcome back to Reviews. Like a sir. Just got vaped. Anyways, today...
I was aiming for your face and I missed very badly.
I can see that. Today, we are going to be going over something very, very, very new. We're going to be going over the glare on this box. Now we're going to be going over the profile.
You can see us recording.
Get a good look, guys. It's the most meta thing you'll see in a vape review. The dogs. We're going to be going over the profile RDA/RSA by Mr.JustRight and Wotofo. Or Wotofo. Or Wotofo. And I'm just going to get this out of the way because I wanted to do it. I hate these packages, guys. There's not enough weight in the box to get it to come out of the lid, and so you have to knock on your freaking vape stuff. But no, yeah. So, why don't we get into this review? We're going to dive down, we're going to get down low, and we're going to go over this stuff inside the box. Doesn't she look cute today? Welcome back to another review by Sarah and Caleb. Anyways, we'll see you guys down low.
Alright guys, and this is how it's going to come packaged right off the box. On the front you'll have Profile, which is the name of the RDA itself, Wotofo, who it's by, and Mr.JustRight. On this side it's going to say Profile. On this side you're going to have your little scratch and sniff thingy and a barcode. And then you'll have Mr.JustRight and Wotofo.com. And you will also have Wotofo on this side, and then I think it's just on this side. You'll have a little color configuration right here. And on the back, you will have your
baseball stat sheet.
Baseball stat sheet. I'll freeze right there so y'all can read that.
And after you open up the box, this is all that you were going to get. The little foam piece that holds your extra drip tip, it is white. Let's open that up real quick. I always do it like this just because it's hard to get this crap out. All right, here's your white, if I can hold it. I'm not trying to drop this stuff, I promise, guys. White, shorty drip tip. It is slightly larger at the top and gets fat, or it's slightly smaller at the top and gets fatter as it goes down. Okay, put that back. Here is your build deck, if I can get that out. See if you can see that Mr.JustRight engraved in there. And then on the other side, it says Wotofo. Now this is where all the magic happens. Let me put this on the mod real quick. So this is a 20 millimeter build deck. It is a smaller deck on the inside. There we go, it's all tightened down. Smaller build deck on the inside with a very, very thick top cap. It's 2 millimeters thick, so it makes it a 24 once it's all said and done. We'll go over the top cap in just a sec. Let's go over the build deck and the goodies. So for the build deck, now what he was trying to do with this is he was trying to perfect the way that you vape with mesh, and I think he hit it out of the park. We'll go over why when we get up top. We'll also get a build from a noob. Okay, so you see this right here? Here, let me grab one of the tools. We'll go over the goodies in just a second, I promise. I did this kind of backward, but we're trying something new, you know? Okay, let's go over the goodies. Let's go over the build deck real quick. Okay, so what he did is, one of the major problems with mesh is that it's constantly dry hitting. That's because the cotton deforms and it doesn't get a good connection. So what he did So you put a little bitty ceramic block, I think it's ceramic, in the middle, and it's spring loaded. So no matter how much gold, you can't put an exorbitant amount of cotton in there. But when you wick this, this pushes down, so you can put a lot of wick, because everybody knows that mesh uses a lot of juice, but it also, as the cotton might deform, it's spring loaded, so it pushes that cotton back up into the mesh. Ingenious idea right here. There's your squonk hole right there in the middle. And it might look like it won't squonk out if you have a cotton a lot right here, but it does come out the sides and from underneath. So that's good. Has a 2-post design, positive right here, negative right here, with Phillips / flathead screws. I don't know if y'all can see that. And it's really simple to build a coil, so simple I am confident enough that Sarah can build on this for the first time with just a simple explanation as to how. Spring loaded, no, not spring loaded. Got your clamps right here. They're free floating, so careful. If you take that screw out too much, it's gonna be a bitch and a half to actually get that back in. Let me just show you real quick. It's free floating, as y'all can see. Screw that back in. It's like that on both sides. Now, that might look like it's for mesh only, but you can, they're very strong clamps, you can clamp coils in there. Okay, plenty of space for cotton, because your coil is gonna go like this, your mesh of your coil is gonna go like this, and the cotton will sit right here in these 2 engraved juice wells. Now, something that bothers me just a little bit that y'all might not be able to see, but I can see, the logo for Wotofo is not straight with the build deck. The one for Mr.JustRight on the top looks to be relatively straight with the build deck, but the one for Wotofo is not. It is what it is. That's an aesthetic flaw. That's subjective. Some people just don't care. All right, let's go over the deck real quick, or the cap real quick, now that we've gone over the build deck. Okay, so this is the cap. Nice and clean, profile with, I think, clouds around it. I thought there were cracks at first when I first saw it, but I'm pretty sure they're clouds. Nice airflow. We'll go over just how nice it is up top. Just know that this airflow is pretty damn nice. Underside of the top cap real quick. You'll be able to see it right there. There's a notch. It corresponds with the notch right next to the screw to hold the top cap in place so that you get perfect airflow every single time hitting the sides of the coil. Pop this out. Your airflow is stepped, so this is wide open, steps down, cuts off a row of air holes, steps down, cuts off another row of air holes, and then goes back to fully open. See if y'all can see it as it goes. See some light through there. Oh, this is hard to hold. Hard to hold. But as you twist, it starts shutting off rows of air. And that is one row completely shut off. And we'll just keep doing that as it steps down until it opens wide open once again. Okay, so that's build deck and cap gone over. There you go. Slots down into place, fits nice and snug. And this is the drip tip that comes pre-installed. I'm not sure if every single one of the stainless steel colors will come with this nice purple and blue drip tip, but it is a nice short profile drip tip. Very clean, very comfortable in my lips. All right, now, after all that, let's go over everything else in the box. It's going to come with one temp control coil. It is a nickel, and it should ohm out to 0.33, as y'all can see. And then it comes with this baggie of mesh. There are 2 in here, and they are Kanthal. I've already used one because I wanted to use it before I actually did the review, but we'll go over that when we get up top, when Sarah's going to build y'all a mesh coil for it. This is going to house your shoelace type cotton that Wotofo gives you. They only give you 1, and it is very thick. I think it said it was 6 millimeters worth of cotton, which I don't know how anybody's using a 6 millimeter coil, but I did manage to fit it in there, and it worked fairly well. We'll be using cotton bacon up top. Comes with a baggie of spares, O-rings, screws, extra springs, and a normal studded 510 pin. And then last but not least, a little user pamphlet, if anybody doesn't know how to use this RDA. All right, we'll see you back up top. And we're back up top, back up top. I don't know why I'm dancing and why I'm singing. No, that was horrible. But we're gonna have another rendition of New Builds a Coil, and she's going to do mesh for the first time. Just to show you how easy this is to build on, because Mr. Just Right did this just right. Sorry about the bleeding your ears just experienced. Oh gosh, this is gonna be hard to pick up. Okay. Now I'm gonna get nice and human taste on my vape. Alright, so while she builds that for your view and pleasure, because it's that simple and she's just gonna do it on camera, I'm gonna be talking about some of the pros and cons. Pros.
Am I not gonna tell them how you do it?
Okay, fine, you can go ahead. I'll sit back on this part.
Okay, so I'm seriously going to explain this to y'all like he just explained it to me. We already have the screws slightly, that's the key, slightly loosened. What you're going to do is you get this little
coiling jig, or I call it a coiled thingy. It's the thingy you build your coils on.
So basically, you have your little tiny piece of mesh. Like, that is, like, tiny. Like,
it's pre-cut. You dropped it.
It's
like, so tiny she didn't even see it. So tiny she didn't even notice she dropped it.
Okay, I picked it back up. Okay, the one con I can think of to building with mesh is it's a pain in the ass to pick up. Okay, so basically, how you do this, is you take your coil doohickey, and this is how he explained it to me, so if I fuck this up, I'm sorry. And you're just gonna, to get the perfect curvature, just gonna bend it over the coil doohickey, and that's your coil. I don't feel like that's narrow enough, but
well, just wrap
we'll
it back
find out.
Wrap it back around and try to insert it.
All
or
right.
If you don't think you can, just try to insert it by hand.
Yeah, that's not gonna work very well, I don't think.
Okay.
So he said what you do is you just like set it down like this, and I'm not feeling it, so we're not doing it that way. How I'm gonna do it is I'm just gonna hold it by either side. And where are the slots? Do I do it on either side of this thingy?
Yeah, you can move it. Yeah.
Okay. So on either side, you have this little spring-loaded thingy. Caleb probably explained that to y'all already, though. On either side of the springy thingy
are the clamps. And you're just
well,
going to...
motherfucker, that's not where I wanted it to be. There we go. You're just going to very delicately set it in there. Try not to bend it because that would suck. Is that in the holes? It is in the holes.
And then you tighten them down.
And then you're going to take your little screwdriver and you're going to go wee, tight.
Make sure it's in there. Yep.
And you go, ooh, that's not in there anymore.
It is.
No, it's not.
You're right, it's not. It's okay. This is why it's called New Build to Coil.
And guys, I want y'all to know, I'm not like pressing on the coil. I'm literally just like
holding it in place.
Yeah, so it doesn't pop out.
Which it usually doesn't, but mesh is a little springy. So, if you've never done it before, and that is what it looks like. You can't even see it. There you go. Looks like a little roof.
A little McDonald's arch.
Okay, now, this is how I make sure that it's completely curved. Because I didn't use the coiling jig the first time either. I just bent it myself. And this is how I alleviated any weird spots. I took the small part of the rod and I just went back and forth underneath the mesh until it was perfectly round. But looking at it, I didn't need to do that because Sarah did a very good job. Now watch this. Just watch this, okay? What is this at? 45 watts? This is what I've been vaping at. Do you see how quickly that ramps up? Like, that's ridiculous. But with the way that the wicking system works, it works really well. Now that she's built a coil, everybody give a round of applause for Sarah for her new build to coil because she's picking her nose on camera.
I am not picking my nose. My nose ring is like hanging down and it's irritating me.
All right, so we already used the shoe cotton that they gave us, the shoelace cotton, as I like to call it.
Which I would like to order more of for the record, because if I'm building by myself, I hate wicking. I am horrible at wicking. And I think that would be...
You're just going to grab a fluff. I don't know which fluff to use. They both look fairly similar. And no, I'm going to use the smaller fluff. They both look fairly similar, so they're both pretty dang good. And this is the simplest part of the whole thing. Okay? I'm going to tail it or point it, push it through, and that spring is going to do its job and make sure there is plenty of room for that cotton.
Okay, guys, I want y'all to know, for the record, I have never actually seen him wick this. He did it while I was laying in bed watching TV, so I wasn't paying attention, and that's actually a pretty good idea.
Yes, it is. About 2 centimeters off of the coil. And then I need my pokey tool.
Coil.
Need my pokey tool. And then you're just going to caress it down into that slot. Just poke it. You're not trying to get rid of the fluffiness. You want it to be nice and flurfy. Nice and flurfy. Just gently poke it. Like a bird. Why would you poke a bird? I'm trying to be Bob Ross here and it's not working.
I mean, if you're...
We're just gonna make a happy cloud. We're just gonna make a happy cloud. Nice little happy cloud.
And every little happy cloud needs bread.
You know what this happy cloud's friend's gonna be? It's going to be this top cap and my juice. Alright, and that's basically it, guys. It slots perfectly into place because of those little, if I can get it to go on, mother of God. There we go, I got it. And it lines up pretty damn swell with the front faceplate of this mod. If you're wondering what mod we're using, we are going to be using the Pulse BF 80 watt Squonk mod. And I'm telling you, you can just squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Is anything coming out? I don't think so. And squeeze and squeeze. Fill that chamber up with juice. I don't think it did. Did I fill the chamber with juice? I don't know. Anyways. Oh, I heard suck back. There we go. There's the juice.
Technical difficulties. I apologize in advance.
I literally filled it up over the mesh before it leaked out the sides. That's how much you can fill this chamber before it starts leaking. Alright, pros and cons. This has already been a long review, but we're trying to make it real fucking nice. We're trying to make it real fucking nice for ya. For your viewing pleasure. That was horrible. I'm sorry to my Scottish ancestors. Alright, so, pros and cons. Pros first, or cons first? Which one?
Cons.
Cons first, okay.
Y'all can tell I'm so interested, right?
I don't like this little line. There's no point to it. You can tell where the top cap is. I don't see a point in having the line. There's no reason for it.
But that's an aesthetic thing. It
takes away from the overall look. Con number 2, which is also an aesthetic thing, so if you don't care, just don't count these as cons. Wotofo's engraving on the build deck is not straight with the build deck. It irks me to no forking end. Forking end. Con number 3, my hat is not on straight and no one told me. No, that's not a con. Con number 3, single coil only. Has dual airflow, both sides. No single coil airflow mode, which can be a con, it cannot be a con. If you do the coil right, it's okay, but it has no dual coil mode. You could put them in there, but I don't think it would work very well. And that's it. The machining was great. I found no flaws in while using it or while cleaning it. The airflow works well. Now onto the pros, because I have to get this off my chest. This fucking airflow. Just smooth. Smooth as a fucking baby's butt. Smooth as a porn star's ass.
I knew it was coming. I was waiting for it.
Smooth as a freshly
butter.
shaving shape. Smooth as butter, everybody. No, the airflow is absolutely amazing. Like, just take a draw off of that without actually pressing the fire button, since she doesn't like the flavor I'm squonking with. Like, that is what... she likes the recurve RDA. I feel like this is the airflow the recurve RDA should have had. Did you get a dry hit?
No.
I vape on a 6, so she's gonna go die. That's pro number 1. Pro number 2, they got the deck right. They got the mesh right. They got the wicking right. I don't think that there is a better mesh RDA on the market. I don't think that they could have come up with a better system for mesh dripping / squonking. It is perfect. And that brings me to con number 3. Because of the way that they did this mesh and this wicking, I have never had a dry hit.
You mean pro number 3?
Yeah.
You said con number 3.
Pro number 3. I've never had a dry hit. You can always tell when you're about to get dry, which is a major con for mesh. And the flavor off of this is just... right off the bat, it is just phenomenal. If I was going to rate this, taking the pros and the cons into account, which 2 of them were subjective cons, so take that as it may, I'm going to give it a solid 8, 8.5. Easily one of my favorite drippers of all time. You have no idea what half of these cons are, so what would you give it?
Okay. If it was a different juice, I'd give it an 8, easily. But with this juice, I'm gonna give it a 7.
The juice doesn't matter. The juice doesn't matter. All right, guys, that's been our review on the Profile RDA by Mr.JustRight. I don't know what she's doing. She was licking my vagina. And we'll see you guys next time.
That's right here.
No, leave it alone. We'll see you guys next time on Reviews Like a Sir.
Bye, guys.